This is Mary Lewis at A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. If you're enjoying this podcast, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend, or leave a comment. Thank you. Today I'm talking with Eric at Cultinary Family Farms. Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. And you?
I'm good. You're in New Jersey?
Yeah, we in Jersey, we have to say South Jersey, Central Jersey, or North Jersey. So we are in South Jersey, right by Philly.
Okay, cool. I'm in Minnesota, if you didn't know, so I'm not going to sound like you, and you're not going to sound like me, and that's what makes the world go round.
And I'm from Montreal, so I have a double accent. So
I'm not hearing a lot of the Montreal. I'm hearing more of the New Jersey, but either way, it's all good with me.
all right.
So tell me about yourself and what you guys do at the farm.
Well, it all started in Quebec when we lived there. I have a passion with garlic, so I started garlic. I said, I'll try farming garlic for fun. I started really small, and I failed miserably. And then that got me like a kick just to try again. And then I rented a little lot, and then we started planting, and it went really well. So it got me, you know what? I'll do it bigger. So we sold where we were. We bought a little land with a house, and we started farming there. Starting getting animals and everything. So starting to doing like people would come to the house and buy our honey, buy our garlic, eggs, and everything. And then when I moved here, since I was a brand new immigrant, it took me about 16 months to get my green card. So I didn't want to wait, because it was. So I opened up my farm again here in Morristown. So I knocked on everybody's door. I was looking for vacant lots for farmland and everything. I got turned down for like 6 months, and then someone answered one of our ads and said, "Hey, I have a land. It's not ready, but hey, if you want to rent it, go ahead." So I started with smaller tools. I pulled out all the tree. There was about 10,000 trees on it. So I started by myself, and I removed all the trees, all the rocks, got a beat up tractor. We have a hashtag that's called cursed tractor because everything happens. Right now I'm working on my tractor as we speak. And so we started with that, so it's like our second year. We're heading into our third year. So last year we harvested about 45,000 cloves that I planted by hand. And, we do farmers market, we do food expos, we do a few things. And now we started a home delivery. So it's the farmers market delivered to your door. So that's what we're trying to do. And that's where we at today. If you want to put that in a ballpark real quick, that's pretty much what we do.
That's awesome. And the more you talk, the more I'm hearing the French accent. You have a beautiful speaking voice.
Thanks.
Okay, so I had a couple questions that are specific, and then we can just kind of go from there. I saw that you sell black garlic. I freaking love black garlic. I had never tried it until a few years back. And I tried making it, and it was an epic fail. I tried making it in a rice cooker, and it did not work.
Yeah.
So is there a trick to, well, number one, tell people what it is, and then number two, is there a trick to making it at home?
Well, yeah, the black garlic is a fermented regular garlic. So what you do is you really in a slow heat, you slowly cook your garlic to depending on what you use to cook it in. So people try rice cooker, slow cooker.
Yeah.
You can put it in your oven. You can bury it in the ground with it's depending on where you at, like so it becomes like a gummy bear in a way, kind of like texture. And we actually cook it a little bit so it's harder and it's a bit drier so people can handle it with their hands and it's not sticky. And so that's what we do. And it becomes like it's crazy, the antioxidant and everything. It's the benefits for your health and the flavor. It's like it becomes a umami flavor.
I think it's like candy.
Yeah,
To
well,
me,
like
it
I
tastes
said,
like candy.
it's like a brain kind of tease in a way because you go through 5 steps. Well, the one we make. I tried a few other ones that like we go to the store and it's really like watery and it's like mushy. It doesn't give you the same, but ours give you like 5 flavor steps. So it's kind of like for 10 seconds when you put the gummy in your mouth, it becomes like a brain teaser because you go to like balsamic glaze flavoring, it changes into caramelized onion, then it'll go to a smoky barbecuey flavor, then it'll go back to being really bitter, and then garlicky. So all that within the first 10 seconds of chewing the gummy. So that's what the fun about it is. You see people's faces, and everybody goes like, "Wow, exactly what you described. That's what my brain went through." And so you tell people, you know what? Hey, try it in a sandwich. Try like I saute mine with my onions, and I make cheesesteak with them. So it makes the cheesesteak sweeter.
Uh-huh.
But again, people put it in whatever they want. So it's fun. You see people, they come back. It's more expensive, but it takes so long to do it that it's kind of worth. It's a delicacy. It's like caviar. So
Yes, and I feel like people are in two camps with black garlic. They either love it or they won't
yeah,
ever try it again.
it's hit or miss. See, people like or people don't like and there's people that don't like garlic to begin with. So so you can't please everyone. But if people don't like garlic, they'll most likely probably like that because it doesn't have that big garlic taste, and you don't have the after bread also. So
Uh-huh.
it's a special candy.
Yeah, and it's really the way I used it was I made some, well, my husband makes French bread, and so he made the long baguette French breads, and we put some actual fresh garlic on and some butter, and then we smushed some of the black garlic on top of
Yeah,
that when it was warm, and it was really yummy.
yeah, it's good.
So, but if you don't want to give away the secrets on how to make it at home, you don't have to, but maybe you
Well,
could tell me
it's
when
not.
we're
Well,
done recording.
like I said, I failed miserably about like 50 times
Uh,
because you have if you're using like a regular rice cooker, if you're using like a slow roast cooker, you have to put water in it in a bowl. You have to keep it like hydrated because the humidity won't leave the same way. So you have to kind of keep some humidity in it.
uh-huh,
So it's more like you'll have to hit or miss until you find your perfect place to put it in. Because even if I tell you, well, I use this and that, you have to use your right temperature because it doesn't cook the same way as a rice cooker. You can try a rice cooker works. I've succeeded with rice cookers, but it's you'll have to make sure you check every day, but then you can't open it every day, so you'll have to scrap a lot of garlic to see,
uh-huh.
like the first day you see how it changed, and then you keep it. The next time you batch, you try for 2 days, and then you try until you do that for about 7 to 15 days, depending on how your cooker because it has to be on a keep warm. You can't cook it, so it has to like the keep warm button. If you have that, if you don't have
Mhm,
that, I suggest not trying it. And then for about 10 to 15 days you try until you see what you like about it. And you also, if you're using a conventional like slow cooker rice cooker, you have to put water in a little cup to make sure it keeps high, or else it'll become, you can make like black garlic powder because it's gonna burn it.
yeah.
So you won't have the sweetness to it, but you'll have the smoky barbecue flavor to it. So it's like to get the perfect ratio on it, it's really hard. So there's like different methods, and then you can buy like really really expensive tools to make it easier. But if you want to do it at home, you can definitely do it. You can also put it in your oven, but again, it's a lot of electricity, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna put your oven on hold for almost 2 weeks. So, like I said, in a small rice cooker that has a keep warm on it, try to have something that's bigger,
Mm.
so you can put a couple more and a little bit of cup of water, like with an aluminum foil on it. You put some little holes just so it doesn't dry out. And like I said, it's hit or miss until you succeed. So, like I said, I don't know all the brands of rice cookers. Like I bought maybe 17 just to
Uh-huh.
try, and then I found one that was holding enough. And then midway you can flip them all up, and then you add some more water. You put it back, seal down. You put some towels on it so that it still breathes. So, like I said, it's a like it's not that I don't want to give the recipe. It's just like I said, it's hit or miss. Just like planting garlic. Some people succeed every year. Some people fail, and it's just put in the ground. It's simple as that.
Okay, so the easiest way to get really good black garlic is to order it from your website. That's what I'm going to do because I'm
Well,
not spending
yeah,
14
we
days
we
screwing around
ship
with this.
we ship with U.S. Post anywhere you want, United States, and like I said, it's way easier that way. And
Yeah,
it takes me a
exactly.
long time anyway myself still. So like it's because I sell it all peeled, and I don't sell it as bulbs, So I check every single last one of them. I peel every little last one of them just to make sure you have like when you open it up, you don't have to work again.
Mhm.
So what you do is you just eat it. So it's all peeled. It's already peeled for you and already put in the bag. Our logos on it, and we also sell pound bags for like usually restaurants, and either that or 4-ounce bags.
Okay, cool. Well, if I get a hankering for black garlic, I know where I'm going to, and it's not the grocery store. So I tried it with a small rice cooker, and it just didn't work, and I let it go. I didn't know about the water trick, so it all ended up in the trash. But boy, it smelled really good.
Yeah, it does smell awesome, and because it released the I don't know what the word is in English, but like isin, it releases it, and it's really really strong. But if you like garlic, it's a pleasure to walk in the
Mhm,
house to smell that. But not everybody likes that, but I love that. To me, when it smells that, it's like wow, it's success.
mhm. Oh yeah, I love walking into a house where people have been cooking. It doesn't matter what it is they're cooking. It could be something I don't even like to eat, but the smell of people cooking from scratch is amazing. It's one of my favorite things on earth. Okay, so you said that you bought land and you grow garlic. What else do you use your land for?
Well, we have chickens. We have 2 goats. We had about 300 chickens last month, but some predator came, and sadly we lost everything. But I now I have another 60 something, 70 chickens at the farm. So we sell eggs. We sell some duck eggs. We don't do anything with the goats. They're supposed to be protecting the chickens, which they're not really.
Uh-huh.
But we grow watermelons, pumpkins. We have tomatoes. We have cherry tomatoes. We have a lot of different hot peppers, regular peppers. We also have some hybrid peppers that we tried this year. It's a brand new breed that doesn't exist. So a guy that I know in Pennsylvania is breeding new species. So
Mhm.
they look like hot peppers. They look like they're gonna like throw you off your seat when you bite into them, and they'll have that little taste of when you bite into a ghost pepper, but without the heat. So it's kind of like crazy. It tastes like sweet, like perfume. So it's we're trying new stuff. People ask us to grow stuff, and we grow it for them. And like I said, we also have we did some onions, we did some zucchini. We do, like I said, we do pretty much every vegetable we can have. Not much on lettuces, and we also do a lot of basil and
Mhm.
some herbs. So that's pretty much it. Decorative corn. We don't do edible corn. It's it's way too costly for a small farm like that to be able to succeed with that, because you need a lot of electric fences, shotgun noises, and people like a lot spray. So I don't we don't use any spray or stuff like that. We grow organically without having organic sticker on it.
Mhm.
So we try to keep it clean, try to keep it without pesticides and anything. So we haven't used any of that. So if you want to grow regular corn, it's really hard.
Yeah, and it's not worth the bang for the buck because the buck never comes if you're small.
Yeah, and then again, like I said, it's gonna be eaten. Like the raccoons know exactly. Well, it's like I don't know if it's the smell or if it's the look at it, but they won't touch decorative corn, but
Mhm.
they will jump on the edible corn as soon as it starts growing. So, like I said, deers, raccoons, rabbits, they know right away. So that's why if you don't have electric fences and noises and like either pesticides or something that repels them, they won't last until they. So that's what's really hard about it. So and we don't want to start doing the sprays and stuff like that. So we team up with Hunter's Farm in Cinnaminson, and we provide them the people with their corn, which is the best white Jersey corn ever.
So you've learned that the networking situation helps.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, we team up with other businesses for our farmers market and our delivery form that we do. So we also have Ray Sheehan's barbecue sauce, award-winning sauces from Jersey. We have hot honey. We have some hot sauce rubs, and we work with companies. We're gonna be selling pork roll next week. Also, we're gonna have some meat starting. We will be having pork roll hot dogs, pork roll kibelski, and polished sausages. So, people wants to team up with us. We like to help out other small businesses, and I think there's still enough room for everybody to grow. And we try not to put anybody behind us. We try to put them beside us so we can all go forward together.
Yes, cross promotion for businesses is amazing because it makes everybody look good and it makes everybody win. Um, you said hot honey. Does that mean spicy honey?
It's kind of like spicy, but not crazy. So it's got a kick, like a bit of a hot sauce, but mixed with honey. So you got the sweet and spicy taste to it. So whatever you like, if you would just eat it like that on a toast, I don't think that would be anybody's personal best.
Mm?
But you put that on a pizza, you put that on a sandwich, you put that on a grilled cheese. It makes the food like better. Like it turns it into something that is like wow, like you have the sweetness, you have the hotness, and the right balance into it with whatever you put it in. So it's good. Like pepperoni pizza, hot honey is like the best combo in the world. I like also on chicken cutlet. Like when you want to dip your nuggets or whatever, you put a hot honey. It's a brand new thing. It's crazy on the market right now, so it's fun. It's fun to see that.
That's the best thing about foods because everybody's been making food since humans began. And if someone comes up with something new, everybody wants to try it because we've been eating the same flavors for thousands of years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The market is changing now, and people they want to try new things. They want they want to savor new stuff. It's fun. It's fun to see. I tried caviar last year for the first time in my life, and I was like, I never really got interested in trying because I figured I'm not a big fish person. And wow, I fell in love. I was like, damn, I missed out all my life. So today I'm gonna try everything that I can, even if it's something that I don't like. I will try it, just to see and to be able to try everything that I can. So like I was really happy that I tried it. I was sad that I never tried it before. So
Yes, and on that note, I was a very picky eater as a child. Like, I didn't like anything. I was really skinny until I got to be about 19, like, terribly skinny. And part of the issue with not liking foods as a kid, I don't know if you know this, is that when you're little, you have way more taste buds in your mouth than you do when you're an adult. You actually lose taste buds as you grow up.
yeah,
And so the flavors of things are more intense when you're little because you have so many more taste buds to taste with. And so what I would tell people is if you didn't like something as a kid, try it again as an adult because you might actually like it now.
yeah. Like I'm pretty sure we both gonna agree to that. Is when you're a kid, most of the kids hate mushroom,
Hmm.
and as adults, you can't get enough of. So it's like probably the best example of not liking the food when you're a kid, and then when you start cooking mushroom and different mushroom as an adult, and you put that in sandwiches and your burgers, and it's like, oh my god, I missed out.
Yeah. And the other thing is that when you're little, sometimes you will OD on a food. My thing was cherry tomatoes. We grew cherry tomatoes in the garden. My parents did, and I loved them. I was like 10, and I ate way too many of them, and I ended up being sick on them and hated cherry tomatoes for years because I
Yeah.
had gotten myself sick from eating too many. And about maybe, I don't know, that was when I was 10. So when I was 30, there were cherry tomatoes in a salad that was given to me at a restaurant. And I was like, God, I don't like cherry tomatoes. And I bit into one and I was like, oh, I do like them. So so you can't just assume with foods that you still don't like something. So I would encourage everybody who has a particular food that they think they cannot stand to try it again. The worst thing that happens is you find out you still don't like it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's food is there, enjoy it. Like I mean, I also understand if people have food restriction and or they don't want to eat food for personal reason.
Uh-huh.
But if it's because they think it's yucky and they haven't tried it, I would suggest to try it.
Yeah, exactly. Because all it is an experience.
Yeah,
Food is supposed to be an experience. It's supposed to be an event, I think.
yeah. Like I said, I respect if people are vegetarians. People decide not to eat this or that. Like I respect that if
Mhm.
it's for their own, personal choice or reason. And it sucks if you can't get to try stuff. But like I was a vegan, I was a vegetarian for many, many, many years, and I started eating meat again, and like, I don't have the guilt as much. I understand, and I only eat renewable meat. I don't eat
Mhm.
meat that doesn't renew itself. So to me, like I made my peace with stuff that I don't eat,
Yeah.
which is delicious. But I'd rather make sure the species can survive because they don't make it. So we'll have pork, beef, chicken for the next thousands of years because we can remake it. So panda probably tastes really good, but I'd rather people save them. So
Yes.
it's just a personal thing with me. Some species, I just refuse to tag along with that. So
Yeah. And you live in New Jersey, so I bet you can get fresh seafood pretty much whenever you want it.
yeah, well, the crab game here it's outstanding. Like people eat crab with the shell, without the shell. There's soft shell, blue shell. Like it's like I still have to get more into the game, and I travel a lot from Jersey to Montreal, and that's like alongside the 91
Mhm.
in Vermont, and then right by New Hampshire, and I stop by Boston and the North Shore a lot. So I kind of go and get my lobster roll fix like quite a few times during a year, and it's outstanding. It's so good, like and depending, like lobster is just lobster, but once you start mixing it up with the way they make it, I don't. It's crazy. Yeah, and crab meat. I love scallops. I love shrimps. I love everything.
Mm.
So it's delicious. I in Jersey, the seafood restaurant. It's like it's a competition here. It's not just like the pizza, the hot dogs, the seafood here in Jersey. It's like people go nuts fighting to be the best. So you don't have like regular just basic food. It's everything stands out when you eat here. It's crazy. When you go down the shore, it's nuts. Like there you won't go to a restaurant and be like, it wasn't like they're all fighting to be the best. So it's nuts. So you'll
Yeah.
have the best experience every time you go out here.
Is New Jersey a tourist state like Maine and New England are?
Well, I would say way more in a way for like I guess mixed tourists because you have the shore, you have New York's close by. People will travel around. Like when you go to Maine, when you go, it's specifically more to see the nature and like the lobster, like the seafood game.
Yeah.
So I would say here it's more of like a mixed tourist because you have the shore, you have the boardwalks, the amusement parks, and and then you get to go to Washington D.C. right by. So it's more like I wouldn't say it's the same kind of tourists. Like if you go to Montreal or Quebec, they're looking for something specific. I think here is more like a resort.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you can stay in Jersey here and then go see Washington D.C. and come back in the same day. You can stay in Jersey and then go to New York, visit New York, come back the same day, and then end up going to the beach the same day. So it's more like a big giant resort where staying in New York City tonight might be like wow for a whole family. It's crazy. So it's kind of like I don't know if you get what I'm saying, like if you go to Maine, it's usually you stay in Maine, you get in a bed and breakfast, or you stay like in a cabin and you stay. But in Jersey, you get to go wherever you want. You get to go see Philly, you get to go see Baltimore. You get to, you go everywhere you want. You can want to go visit the Amish. You want to go, even you can go to Boston. It's not that far, so it's
So
kind of like a resort.
so Jersey's like the hub on a bicycle wheel.
I would say that because like and you have like the bennies, like there's got they have name for everybody. The tourist that comes here from the North Jersey goes to that beach. The Montreal people go to that beach, and then people from there they go everywhere to go visit. So it's like if you want to go travel to Europe, you go like right in the middle, and then you travel everywhere around, so you can
Mhm.
get to see. So I guess Jersey is kind of that kind of state, So you
Okay.
you you get to go everywhere you want within, from north to south Jersey. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah,
So
it's a little bitty state.
yeah, it's a tiny state. There's 10 million people, which is populated. But if you want to go to New York from my house, it's an hour and a half. You want to
Mhm.
go to Washington D.C., it's 2 hours. You want to go to Philly, it's 20 minutes. You want to go, so it's like you can go everywhere. You want to go to the shore, it's not even an hour.
Yeah.
So you get to go everywhere you want, and you get to see the ocean, and then turn around, you get to go see Philly, you get to go see New York. So it's kind of like wow, it's like the best of both worlds.
Okay. Well, the reason I asked, because clearly we're not talking homesteading if we're talking traveling, but I was born in New Jersey. My parents moved to Maine when I was 6 months old.
Yeah,
And so for me, New Jersey is technically my home state because it's where I was born, but I don't have any working memory or knowledge of the state because I was gone when I was 6 months old to Maine.
yeah.
So since you're from Jersey, I thought I would ask. Um, okay, so we have like 4 more minutes left to go here before we hit 30 minutes. Um, what's the plan? Because I'm assuming that you are not in your 20s.
I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, so are you going to keep growing the business or
Well,
do you have a plan for what you're going to do with it?
well, we have 7 kids, so the plan is to at some point have all the kids working with the farm and have like a farmers market on the road, and people like next year we're going to open up to the public to the farm too. So that's the plan, is all the kids working with us, and we're going to have greenhouses next year and everything, so all the kids be working. I have my oldest son drives tractors, and like he helps me out, but the plan is to get all the way down to the 2-year-old twins to work with us at the farm and have a family business that they can have when they're older. And if it's not their path, at least they'll know how to work land, and they'll work with their hands, and then they can do whatever they want. But that's the goal.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it when people plan for family farms because there aren't that many left.
No,
A lot of people are aging out and none of the kids in that family want to take it over.
no, it's not fun to see everybody's trying to sell everything now for like real estate and quick money, and it hasn't been passed down to generations. So like parents owns farms or grandparents, and it's been passed down to the next generation, and they don't want nothing of it.
Yeah.
They just want a quick buck and sell it, and it's sad. I understand it's their choices, but I wish government made something easier for people to want to keep doing that and keep it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people wishing that government would do things, whatever those things are, would do them differently right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the election. I'm just talking about in general. The government doesn't, I don't know, encourage or support people doing things the way they used to be done. Does
No,
that
they
make
don't.
sense?
No, they don't. It's big businesses. They don't, and like I said, either party doesn't matter. It's the same thing at the end of the day. It's all about profits and big business and farmlands. For them, they see that as money wasted when they can make more money from real estate. So it's not profitable for them. So they're not gonna spend their time making plans for that. At least there's some part of the government that are still trying, but you know the big head of the offices, I don't think they really care about that. It's not taxes to be charged for income for people. It's just a big land that doesn't cost that much on taxes.
Yes, and I also feel like, and I could be totally wrong, I'm gonna admit that right now. I feel like people in government maybe don't quite understand the importance of farmers and people who grow things and raise animals. They don't quite get it.
Well, I'm guessing they're being told that it's cheaper in a different country to import, and then it makes them look good because they're trading with different countries. So
And
you know
that's
what I
awesome.
mean?
That's awesome until there's a dock worker strike like there was a month or so ago and
Yeah.
we can't get anything in.
and then they should just be resourced from the inside. But
Yeah,
like I said, again, it makes them look good to have the open boundaries of every country pitching in, but it doesn't pay the other country to have their employees work for 10 cents an hour to do stuff. And then people think that's what fresh vegetables look like, which they have been imported. They have been, sprayed. They have been, everything is, there's nothing better than homegrown, locally sourced farming on your plate, So
I
it's a battle that we are trying to fight, which not many people care, but I'm gonna still fight that battle for the rest of my life.
we're gonna die on that hill saying that
Yep.
homegrown food is better. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. We had to buy tomatoes this year because our garden didn't do great. We had some really
Yeah,
terrible weather
it
here.
was one of the worst year for gardening.
Yeah.
No rain. It rained last night for the first time since August 3rd that we could collect water, and today was not even the day to collect water because we rely on water at the farm, and
Yeah.
we collect water from the rain. We don't have a well, so yeah, it was one of the worst for honey. Also, the plants didn't produce nectar. Not of the
Yeah.
flowers did, so the honey was a big. Was really bad. So, we're hoping for next year to be better. That's why we want greenhouses so we can, perfect the art.
Yes, we just put in a greenhouse this spring and we're trying to figure out the best way to heat it in the wintertime so we can actually grow some stuff in the wintertime too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was just a terrible growing season across the country. And some people lucked out huge. I've talked to a few people where the weather wasn't bad where they were. I don't know how they got to be so special, but it was okay. So, yeah, it was rough, and we're really looking forward to next spring. Really looking forward to this winter to kind of get a break from everything and
Yeah.
reset because we walked around in July and August just down in the mouth because it was just so terrible. And my husband's the one who grows the garden, and I said, "Are you gonna like blow a gasket in September when it's over?" And he was like, "No." He said, "Honey," and when he says honey, I know he's serious. He says, "Honey, this is part of growing things. When you're reliant on nature to do her thing, whatever that is, you're either going to have really good food or you're going to have no food." And I'm like, "Great. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you." So, yeah, it's been tough, but there's always next year.
Yeah, like I said, we're not gonna rely on Monsanto to do our stuff. We're gonna get the nature to do it itself, and that's why we believe in still real agriculture and not like made up Frankenfood. So
Yeah, that scares me. I keep seeing stuff about the I don't know what the word is. The
GMO.
meat that isn't meat that they're trying to develop
Yeah.
and the modified crops, and I'm just like, I don't want fake food. I want real food.
Yeah, well, they changed the game. You had 27-30% like production before when you were planting, and now you have up to 97% success with the fake seeds.
Uh-huh.
And, who's going to go back to losing 70% of their crops, if they're paying for that company, and now you're not allowed to buy any other way than that one. So it's kind of like, it's sad that the government didn't stop it here compared to Europe where it's illegal, but in
Uh-huh.
America, people are the guinea pigs of the corporations, so we
Yep.
can't do much about it.
Yep, and it's a bummer, and I hate ending the episodes on a bummer. So, what I'm going to say to flip it, because it's what I do when I think it's going to end on a bummer, is that there's people like you and people like me and people like I've talked to for the last year or so on the podcast who are trying to do it the old-fashioned way and grow really good, healthy food. So, yay us.
Yep.
All right, Eric, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Like I said, anytime you want to talk again, I know we haven't got all the subjects we wanted to talk about, but like I said, anytime you want, we can do that again, and I'd be more than happy to talk again.
That would be super fun, and maybe we can make a list next time.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry for that. It's my fault.
No, that's okay. This is a very organic conversation structure, and I never know what we're actually going to talk about when I talk to someone on the episode, so it's fine. You have a fantastic day, Eric. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.